Welcome to our Practice Pointers series. In this short video, we're going to talk about helping your patients gain independence, teaching the sit to stand movement. Let's begin with the biomechanics of sit to stand. I'd like you to sit back in your chair with your hips and your back against the backrest, your feet ahead of you with your heels under your knees, and as per the diagram, and without using your hands, stand up. Notice how much effort that took. Now I'd like you to repeat that movement, but with your hips a little bit forward in the chair, your back away from the backrest, with your toes underneath your knees, and stand up. Did you notice any difference in the amount of effort that took? Let's take a look at the biomechanics of sit to stand. To move from sitting to standing, we must move our body mass over our feet or our base of support. So the first step is to get your feet underneath the body mass as much as possible. Secondly, the movement is for the body mass to move forward and up in a scooping motion. How can you help your patients gain independence in sitting to standing? You can follow 7 simple steps to coach them through this movement. The instructions are: scoot your bottom forward, feet apart, toes under knees, interlock your hands, arms out in front, sit up tall, and nose over your knees and stand up. So let's go through those steps again visually. First is to scoot your bottom forward. We need them to shift their hips forward to give them a bit of a head start, again in getting that body mass as close to their feet as possible. Secondly, feet apart. We want to give them a wide, stable base of support. Toes under the knees. We want to bring their feet underneath their body mass as much as possible, again giving them a bit of a head start. Interlock your hands. This is just to support the hemiplegic arm. If this is not comfortable for your client, they can also support their arms in this manner. Arms out in front, again gets them started on that forward motion and a little bit of their body mass ahead of their toes to begin with. Sit up tall. This is important so that they get the motion of forward and up. If they're slumped, the direction of their movement will tend to be more in a downward trajectory. And finally, in a smooth scooping motion, nose over knees, and stand up. For working on sit to stand, we do not want the client to push up using their hands. The work focuses on leg strength, balance, and independence. Using the arms changes the activity and, especially if using only one arm, tends to shift their weight over to the side. For recovery after stroke, research shows that thousands of repetitions are needed to retrain the skills. So practice, practice, practice. It's important, if you can, throughout the day to help your client practice this skill. Getting off the toilet, getting out of bed, getting out of the wheelchair, at every opportunity, every repetition will help them in their recovery. If some of that is too difficult for your patient to stand right up, there are a few adaptations that we can make. The first is to change the height, the starting height. This will help if their legs strength is still a little bit weak. You can do that by raising the height of the bed if that's the surface that you're starting from. Another adaptation is to break it down, not stand all the way up, but just do part of it. You still follow the exact same 7 steps, reaching forward, arms in front, and instead of standing all the way up, just work on unweighting or lifting the hips. This will still give them the benefits of strengthening their legs, getting them used to the forward motion, a little bit more confidence in the motion, and it can also be used to unweight the hips just to relieve pressure. When you have a patient that is pushing or leaning backwards, there are a few tips that you can try. Providing a bedside table may help your clients feel a bit more comfortable. With the table in front of them as a physical and visual support, this can help them get used to sitting forward. And you can try practicing moving the body forward with the table. Another thing you can try, with the feet well forward and slightly wider apart so that they're feeling nice and stable, with the hands on the knees, is sliding the hands slowly down the shins as far as they're comfortable. Again, this just gets them practicing feeling comfortable moving their body forward. You can slowly progress to a little bit farther down, and this still will give them a little bit of work in their legs and also a gentle stretch in their large hip muscles. As they begin to feel more comfortable, you want to progress by bringing the feet back a little bit and continuing just that forward movement until they're comfortable. And then again, you can move to the 7 steps we talked about before, starting with just lifting the hips. I hope you found this practice pointer helpful. Should you have any questions, please contact the physiotherapist on your team.